but there is no proof that our elections are marred by in-person voter fraud. Solutions that have been proposed go to things that do not exist, or go to a problem that does not exist.
This whole idea of people going in and voting multiple times, or paying people to vote, coercing people to vote, I decided to apply the Alinsky tactics, one of them being to pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. Personalize it by investigating the Attorney General himself. And how would I do that? Well, by going to the place the Attorney General himself casts his own vote in Washington, D.C., in Northwest District of Columbia, the place where he himself cast the ballot, walking up to the podium, because remember, there's no photo ID. There's no photo ID in California, right? No photo ID in California, and there's no photo ID in Washington, D.C. And the enemies of photo ID say it's not possible, you can't do it, it's impossible, there's no voter fraud. Okay, fine, I agree with you. I'm going to go up to the place where Eric Holder casts his own ballot, and I'm going to say, hey, do you have an Eric Holder on your rolls? And I'm going to see what happens.
The Attorney General of the United States, as you know, is a 62-year-old black man named Eric Holder.
But last week, a bearded 23-year-old white man went to Holder's voting precinct here in Northwest D.C. and was offered Holder's D.C. primary ballot to vote in that election. Do you have it?
They actually offered us Eric Holder's ballot. We walked up to the location. They say, here you go, Mr. Holder. I said, I left my driver's license in the car. You don't need it, just go vote. But don't you need to verify I am who I say? No, you don't need to verify anything, just vote. And it was that moment, that cinematic interaction I just described to you, that led to states changing their laws. Because nobody thought it was possible. Let's forget that, don't even have the conversation about, does it actually happen in real life, and is it, these law experts actually said, James, it's impossible. That's what these people were saying. So I was not even, like, the first step in Alcoholics Anonymous is to identify you have a problem, not to go down here and talk about how many votes were in Minnesota. So I was just trying to prove a hypothesis that it's impossible, it's not impossible, it's possible. Check this out.
Eric Holder, the actor, confirms the address.
There.
I actually forgot my ID.
You don't need it, sorry.
I left it in the car.
As long as you're here, you're on our list, and that's who you say you are. Okay?
I would feel more comfortable if I just had my ID. Is all right for me to do
Sure.
I'll be back faster than you can say furious.
We're not going.
I was thinking about how I can do this so it's funny. Because it's kind of dry, you know, you get offered the ballot. And I was thinking, let's see, there's the Fast and Furious. I'll be back fast and furiously. No, that doesn't work. I'll be back faster than you can say furious. And that was a hit. After this came out, got like 1 million views on YouTube. Can you imagine how angry he must have been? I would love to be a fly on the wall of Eric Holder's. Damn that O'Keefe! Why didn't we put him in jail in Louisiana? Why didn't you shut him down? Why does he keep... I wasn't even allowed to travel at the time because of all the legal harassment I was getting. And, of course, the best part was he was subpoenaed before Congress to answer the question on why he was offered, why I was offered his ballot.
About your reaction when you saw the video of the young man who claimed your ballot here some months ago.
You know, I mean, it's an attempt to show something, I suppose, but I think what I drew from that video was that that guy was very careful not to say he was Eric Holder, not to actually get a ballot. He didn't do the kinds of things that would have subjected him to criminal
and total deflection. Total deflection. Nothing to do with the issue. Well, he didn't break the... He was careful not to actually take that ballot. But the funny thing is, first of all, Eric Holder's on defense. So remember we talked about afflicting the comfortable? So when the CBS News does the broadcast last night about how Dorito and Taco Bell are working together to create a new taco, that's not journalism. That's some type of advertising for corporations. This is journalism. The fact that I mean, even if you're on the left, and I don't know if there are any people here who are, but I'm sure there's someone from Media Matters, a tracker or something. I mean, I'm in California. But even if you disagree, even if your philosophy is, you know what, I don't like photo ID laws, even if you think that, you still have to admit that this is journalism. That getting the Attorney General of the United States to testify in Congress under oath because some guy with a camera who broke a video on YouTube bypassed the entire mainstream media and did it with a fraction of an infinitesimal fraction of a cost that New York Times takes to do it, you have to at least say that that's good for our democracy. New Hampshire passes a law after the video, cites the video. Minnesota passes a law, cites the video, and this is the best part, I can't make this stuff up. On Election Day 2012, you can't, Hollywood screenwriters would literally struggle. I mean, this is a very artistic state. They would struggle to come up with this stuff. Eric Holder actually made sure that there was a picture of himself on the poll place where he cast his ballot so that nobody else could get offered his ballot again. Just stop and think about that for another minute. Here's a guy who's against photo ID. But he wants photo ID for himself. How many of you have read the book Animal Farm? Remember that whole thing about some are equal but are equal than others? He doesn't like photo ID, but he does like photo ID. This is what journalism is about. It's about when someone tells you, I believe X, you say, no you don't, you believe in Y, and here's video of it.
This is Department of Justice, correct? Do you need an ID to meet someone in the Department of Justice?
It's definitely an ID.
It strikes me as ironic because the Department of Justice strikes down voter laws imposed by state governments. You can't have voter ID laws, yet I need an ID to get into the Department of Justice.